Alright people, I got a special detailed video with a lot of key facts that I got to explain. Um, Big picture people, Apple is set up to test 167 to 170. In my last update, I explained about everything should be fine as long as 160/50 holds. So I will explain in detail inside this video from this point on. Alright people, alright, so from this point, I want to talk about that point. So listen, if you recall this particular day over here, Apple was breaking into new highs. You can see that, right? And there was a playing game section, okay? Apple is the leader, not the SPY is not the leader, neither is the Qs. Apple is a leader. It's trading on its own merits. Now let's take a look at, if we look at this now, forget about, we take a look at these charts, and I'm going to explain something between the SPY and Apple, okay? But let's talk about some key support. So basically, Apple was giving signals. Listen, this had pulled back, and it was very tricky this day. Okay, and in theory, once we lost 160 and a half, one could have sold, but they would have to sold for small losses and buy back in or wait for power. Okay. But in this particular plan that I posted, right now for the September 15 160 calls, they are losing. However, I'm going to tell you a story. Is that I knew there was, to start to post this and that, and this is not what this plan for Apple was. This plan was more of a long-term plan to hold. This is why we're using the September 15 160 calls. Did I expect a pullback like this? No, because has to do more with market conditions, just like this day here. So let's expand upon this, okay, and understand that this stock is still very strong and it's making lower highs. So the odds are that with time these will make money. Yes, if anyone holding these are in loss. I mean, listen, I have my longer term calls, which is the January 19 160 calls. I've watched them go up and go down and go up, and they regain value. This is part of the process. However, before making a lot of plans for Apple, we've been into massive winning gains, winning hundreds of percent gains. So people start to cry about 30-40% loss. What about when you're making 200-300% gains? Have you ever thought to think about that? That part of trying to catch big gains is there could be losses. So I'm going to expand upon but there is no loss right now, by the way. That's if we play according to this is the support zones now, right? So I never usually have to do this, but I'm going to be talking about this because I, for one, am not worried about Apple, and I have my long-term options that lost money. Listen, if everybody sold, okay, because of everyday movements, there would be no market, would there, people? So it's just part of the process. However, now, key supports here are 158, and you notice how we held that level. And the only reason why they brought this to 158 was the strong selling in the SPY to 156.50. And this is based on a lot of facts, my visionary lines, Fibonacci's, all kinds of facts, statistical facts I'm looking at here. Notice the last time we sold off ridiculously, how much Apple rebounded. Whatever we lost, we regained. Most likely that's going to be the case. It might take a little bit longer. We take it day by day. But I want to explain that. You might be losing. And let's go take a look at the charts here, people. All right, people, so here we are on the charts, and on my options chain here, you can see that, yes, there was a 24% drop in these 160 calls. However, we have tons of time. As much as these are down, these could regain their value again. Depending how you are in these, if your average could be this level, right? The key is September 15 and now is quite a distance, and 160 is a pivot point. Let me ask you a question. If Apple is in 2 weeks over here at 167, 168, will you have lost money or would you have gained money? Obviously, you know what the answer is, right? Now, so now, people, let's take a look at the SPY here, okay? The last time Apple sold off, but then look what they did. They gapped this up, okay? This gap created an issue. Were we going to fill this? Most likely, yes. But look at how we felt. So why did we get an Apple pullback so much? It's because the SPY, which is in a chomp zone, okay, which is the weakest. See, this is the last high, Unlike the SPY didn't make new highs, Apple did. So Apple is the leader. And what's the leader telling us? It's very strong. I mean, this is in a chop zone. This is strong as hell. This is just in a massive chop zone. And so that's going to screw up plans, trades. You notice the nothing confirmed. No Netflix trade confirmed. No KO trade confirmed. Why? Why do you think that is, people? But Apple happened to be very tricky and did confirm. And this is part of the game. But, when we're making, if you've been taking all my Apple trades, you're up hundreds of percent gains. You're going to lose sometimes when we're trying to hold for the big picture. And I treat Apple very differently than a lot of my other plans. My other plans, like a Tesla, you see we're getting in and out, and I treat it very differently. Why? Because I know what kind of stock it is. Apple is a unique long-term investment that I'm in, and I've been making many option plays. And some option plays, you know what? Due to market conditions, they get tricky, and I knew this. We lose. But we've been making hundreds and hundreds of percent gains since the beginning of July in Apple. You understand, people? And so Apple is a unique plan. So in general, people, when you think about, look at this, 1, 2, 3, 4 days, and that's and then again, let me give you another tip. SPY 242 is another support. So it's very likely that Apple is going to bounce. And again, we need to reclaim that key 261 level basing. And that will tell us things. So that could be a place if someone wants to add. Again, most of your money will come back. So there's no worries. I mean, this is the key. And sometimes you're going to take losses. But when you add up all your gains to the losses, you're always up ahead. Anybody tells you that there's no losses in this game are lying to you straight out and center. But I've proven this time and time again that if we do all the right things for the right reasons, we're going to be ahead with greater than 80% correct gains. In fact, in all of July, I had only 100% wins. There was no losses, only wins. All right, people? And right now, it's not a loss unless we sell. And again, this could have been sold and bought back. I didn't want to get into the trading part of things. This is not what I'm at this point of level of what I'm providing. I'm providing really the strategic, quick plans to make money. And this Apple one was a unique one. All right, people, welcome to Power Target Trades, the place where I post great detailed plans. You see, people, look at my banner. Confirmation is key. Study the videos. Visit daily. Do you think that, have you seen anybody produce such a thing? Do you see that I have rigid rules? In fact, I've saved a lot of, listen, if I would have jumped into Netflix, short or long, I would have been chopped up to pieces and lost money. The only place I lost some money, or I should say some profits, not money, is in Apple. That's it. The rest of the things, I never bothered getting into anything because things weren't acting right. They were just in a chop zone. You notice Tesla couldn't confirm, Netflix couldn't confirm, KO couldn't confirm, right? So, and instead they've been chopping. They look strong, and listen to me. It's market conditions. We have fear, and it's just ridiculous stuff, and that can even cause the best stock. But Apple, if you look at it, just before this, it was making new highs. So you got to think about that, people. You've got to think. The market isn't a quick, it's not a simple ABC type of thing. Anyway, see this picture of me. At the end of the video, it's going to appear here in a circle format. Simply click on it. It's going to give you a way to subscribe. Listen, people, I tell you, you study my channel. I tell you, on confirmed trades, when we wait for confirmation, 8 out of 10 times we're going to make big profits. Apple was one of those things where it was so close. It was really tricky. I mean, that day we bounced and we were breaking into new highs only to bounce again, and then we had the sell-off in the SPY today. It's one of those things. Nothing's 100% in this world. That's why we go in with a certain amount and we have plans. Nothing's 100% in this world. If anybody tells you there is, you can just forget about investing entirely. Because if I could be 100%, anybody could be 100% on everything, you'd be buying houses on the day. Do you understand what I'm getting at? You could bet the house every day on things. That's not how it works. We need to be able to absorb problems for the right reasons, but catch the gains. And that's exactly what this channel is all about. So make sure you subscribe. Even check out a lot of my winning plans. I mean, these created playlists has a lot of key detailed information of plans before and after. It's all very powerful, people, what I'm telling you. I tell it how it is, people. I don't sugarcoat anything. Okay, and that's why I made the special Apple update, because there's going to be factors in them in the thing no matter what. It becomes a little complex, and that's what happened with Apple. Okay, and there's things that I can tell you by a verifiable that I could see. Theoretically, Apple lost that 160.50. That was a time to take small. Tell people, that would be an exit point. But then let's say Apple was to reverse, and it could have very well reversed, but it didn't. People would be going, oh. So in this case, to simplify things, I looked for support zones because that's simpler to hold. The person holds support, and then listen. I've been in options in Apple. Look at. It's been against me 80%. Do you know how much it was? It went for me 100%. I've seen. There's stories of my plans. They're so damn solid that even when I'm wrong, they become massively right. This is something I can tell you. I have deep experience, but 8 out of 10 times, most of the time, we're getting in, making profits, and exiting. That's how it works. But then you're going to get complex market situations where, listen, every trader, no matter what, everybody has something that doesn't work out for them. And this is a statistical fact. There's just no one impossible to be perfect 100% of the time. It's not possible. So there you have, people, a very detailed video that I'm speaking one-on-one to you. Don't forget to subscribe and like the video. Yeah, right here. Subscribe.